guys, welcome to Opus Online. Today we have a very special guest. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Teasha Jackson. I'm 22 years old and I'm a singer-songwriter from Newcastle.
Put the tools down now. I'm ready to come out. I don't want you to build these walls higher. Take the good with the bad and give it all I have to be found. So just not.
How's ISO treating you as an artist?
I love ISO. No, ISO is really cool. Nothing's really changed for me. I'm still working. I do singing teaching, so I'm doing that over Skype and just chilling in my jammies all the time, which is great fun. I have so much more time to actually record and do music because I usually spend my days catching up with friends.
So you've been writing a lot more in ISO?
More. It's stupid how much I've been writing.
So how's the creative process of writing songs like in ISO? Like, do you have a little studio or?
I'm usually online most days just chatting to producers. They send me things. I'll write over it, record it, send it to them. I will send them something. They'll usually produce it up. I already know what I want in terms of the production. So it's just a lot of chatting, being on the phone to people, recording, sending, over and over.
And so the new song, Sweet Loving Motion, what's that about?
I wrote that. It was like my first song that I ever wrote.
Really?
Yeah, ages ago. So when I was about 15, I wrote that song. And I think I just broken up with someone. I guess that song kind of reflects that feeling of knock the walls down and how do I do that?
Love that.
Hey people, it's Teasha here, just jumping back in real quick. I'm in a flannel, it's a Sunday. What more could you want? I've released a song called Not Now Not Ever. This one is inspired by people who don't really understand maybe your relationship and maybe try to step in. It's definitely spilt tea, so if you want, you can stream it now on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Google, YouTube, pretty much anything. So hope you do. Hope you like it. Thanks, guys.
What was the creative process like for that one?
That song had been worked over. So we were at uni for about 3.5 years and it had been worked over that whole time just because we were so busy and always had assignments.
And we saw that there was a video with KLP and Triple J.
Yeah.
And yeah, you had lots to do with the Triple J people. What was that like?
That was really, really cool. KLP came in and we kind of showed her what we were doing. So Dylan and I were sitting there and we had this little laptop and we did like this really crappy demo of it. And she pretty much just said so my chorus was actually lower. It was put the tools down now. And she just went, what about just taking it up? And I was like, what the heck? Why didn't I do that? She was really cool.
Yeah, so cool. Was it interesting working with like a female in the industry? Because obviously Triple J is pretty forward moving with all that stuff, but traditionally you don't really get women helping women in music.
Wild. Yeah, it was so good and refreshing for me. I like literally know no female producers. Like I can't think of one that I've worked with or can find. Like I'm in so many groups on just Facebook and all this kind of stuff and it's always males. I don't know what it is. I can't even believe that I can't find any female producers, and it's not a bad thing. I just wonder why.
Yeah. Do you feel advantaged or disadvantaged being a woman in the industry that you're in?
Yeah. There have been some instances where I wonder if things that occur would be different if I was a man. And it's funny to say that because I never hear people saying, what's it like to be a man in the industry? I never hear those questions and it makes you wonder why. But like I worked with somebody and they pretty much begged me to be on their track because they wanted a female voice. So I went up there and did the track and we spent all day on it, and I had to stay in Sydney for the night, and we pretty much were going to put it on YouTube. It was just a cover, and he's got a lot of views and things like that, so it was good for me. But it did also, we had an agreement, so he was going to be on one of my tracks for this and whatnot. No money involved, and obviously being a musician, not making money from things like that, you want to get the favour back in a way. They're not obliged to do it, but when you have an agreement, it is nice to know what you're getting back.
Yeah.
So the video never went ahead, and he actually just completely ghosted me, and I never got to see my own work. He pretty much kept it for his own work, and he just told me he didn't like it. And all I wanted to do was see my own work. It was my voice. It was 50-50. So I wonder if I was a male in that sense and his mate, if it would have been different, and if he would have had more respect for me as an artist.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so just things like that. It's, if you're ever working with toxic people, get out of there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, just go, just leave.
don't deserve to be called, I guess, terms that have just been made up for females. You don't have anything for a man. I don't know why girls cop it, but we just do. So quick, smart, get out of there. It's about work. If anybody calls you anything like that in general, nope. Get out of there.
Do you feel different pressures, like how you were saying that at this point in time bands are really being pushed to the forefront, which is great, but also for a solo female artist, has it been difficult for you to get gigs when there were gigs or even just like different opportunities there?
Yeah, sometimes you don't get taken as seriously being a solo female artist sometimes. Depends on the environment. Yeah, I had a gig and I was really excited about it, and I got there and I had this little tiny table that was like rotted. I had to perform on it, and it was, I just did my work, did my job, but then they had the whole band section where they had the big stage and whatnot, and it was like, oh, like, you know, I could have.
If you were to tell like your younger self or someone that is really pushing hard in this industry but just isn't quite making it or is being shut down for different reasons, whether it be their talent or what gender they are or whatever, like what would you give advice for?
I would just say to know what you're doing is good. If you enjoy it, do it. Like, nobody can tell you what's good in music because it's so subjective. I hear something and go, oh, that's crap. That's awesome. So if people don't like my music, I'm not offended, because never be offended is one thing, because it is subjective. If I showed you a picture of a pear, you know, and one of you hated it and one of you loved it and thought it was so unique and amazing, and then I sold it for like $5,000 million. Yeah, never be offended. Always have contracts. Big thing. Have a contract with people that you're working with. Set out what you're doing before you do it. Make sure you know if it's a collaboration, if you're getting paid, what you're doing, so you can have it in writing or record a phone call, or just even do up a proper contract is one thing I've been doing with people, because that thing that happened to me, it's not the first time that's happened. There's a song out with somebody and I was young and I didn't know about royalties and having a split. That's a big thing. If you're putting a song out and somebody hasn't mentioned what split you're getting, I wrote the chorus to this song, so it was my writing, so I should have a split. I was even worried about doing this, how I'd come off talking about some of that stuff, because as a female you do get that, oh, she's
Exactly.
again, or, you know,
they'd be like, oh, she's just gossiping. And you're like, no, there's an issue that's happening. People don't understand that it is happening, and it's still happening just because it's 2020.
You're so not wrong. And I was trying to talk professional more than gossipy, but even my voice just naturally comes off.
But it doesn't. That's what society wants you to think.
And like, no matter what you say, like, you'd think people be like, oh, she doesn't know the business side of things, so she's silly, or oh, she does know the business side of things, she's a tryhard. Like, there's just no
in between. You're definitely right. So all you can do is just put out what you know,
Hmm.
knowledge, and hope that simple. It's if you're going to work in a grocery store, if you're going to work, you know, cutting trees or something, you're not going to think, oh, I'm working and I'm not going to get paid or anything because it's your job. So same thing.
True. Okay, so to round the interview out, we're just going to do some light-hearted rapid-fire questions.
Okay.
Are you ready, Teasha Jackson?
Okay, is it A flat or G sharp?
I'm confused.
Like, which would you prefer?
D sharp.
What is the best series that you've binged this isolation?
Afterlife. If you want to cry every single episode, watch that.
Do you prefer comedy or horror? If you were a superhero, what power would you have?
That sounds so, people are going to be like, shut up, you wouldn't. But I would totally like fix people's problems. Just like war.
I love that.
Because who wants like war and just like bad stuff like hunger and shit like that? You don't want that. So I'll just get
And you're fixing everything.
yeah, so the world would just be nice for everyone.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, what are your thoughts on olives?
Oh my god, guys, I've been to like 4 jars of olives like this.
Yeah.
I thought I hated them because of society, but I love green stuffed olives.
If you could collab with any 3 artists, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh my god. Right now, it would be Fairy Blue, Flume, and Billie Eilish.
Oh, that sounds like a really good track.
Billie Eilish, but she's awesome.
Yeah. All right, what colour best describes you?
Aqua.
Do you think the pink and white marshmallows taste different?
No.
What? They taste so different.
I don't reckon they taste different at all. Yeah.
All right, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes. Only like, you don't want heaps. You just want like 3 pieces on each slice. That's perfect.
That's a good ratio.
Yeah.
I like it. I rate it. All right, and final question. Which one of us is Emily?
Oh no! Don't. Okay, Emily is, don't you do this, girls. I've literally faked it since I've known you. Okay, Emily is great. Okay, I was like 80% sure, but didn't want to get it wrong.
Thank you so much for letting us interview you. And make sure you stream Sweet Loving Motion on any streaming device ever. And where can people follow you?
You can follow me, on Spotify. You can follow me on Facebook, on my music page, which is just Teasha Jackson Music. Instagram, it's just my name, Teasha Jackson. I post a lot of music stuff on there as well.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Okay, bye!